All right, this was described by one viewer as an old fart with some very, very cool young people. I don't know who they're referring to as the old fart. Anyway, welcome to Gen Hex. Goodbye to the summer job. Well, it turns out that fewer teens are working over summer vacation. Why that is, I have no idea. My audio wingman, Dion Bayo, joins us right now from Fox News Headlines 24/7. Carly Shimkis, I should say. She's a big old star here. Internet radio host Mike Gunzelman, and the conservative millennial blogs, Ali Stuckey. All right, Guns, what's going on here? Not working?
Well, I think that it's a combination of two things. One, perhaps there's lesser jobs out there because, like, shopping malls are all but, falling apart and non-existent anymore.
And stores. Yeah.
And, like, you know what I mean? I used to go home over the summer and work at those, and there's only so many pools you can lifeguard at. And I was a lifeguard, God help us.
Oh, my God.
God help us. I used to put sunglasses on and fall asleep.
People would die, and you're like, oh, I didn't see.
Wow. But the other aspect is, though, I really think that for kids these days, perhaps there's like this entitlement mentality that the parents are babying them so much that they don't have to go to work.
I agree with that. I think there's a worth ethic thing going on where there's nowadays they just don't feel like, when I was young, it's like I wanted to get that job. I was 15, I got my first job.
You're still young.
Well, you're right. But I remember like getting your work papers and going out and that was the big thing, was to be able to make your own money, where now maybe they live with their parents over the summer and they don't have to pay rent or any kind of bills.
I disagree. I think that of course work ethic and being able to communicate with other people is obviously very important, but so is being a kid. Sleep in, read a book, volunteer somewhere.
But where would you do it? At 15 or 16, you could start working a lot,
yeah,
right?
that only lasts so long. I think that perpetuated adolescence and deferring responsibility is why we see so many kids in college right now who are whining rather than actually able to engage in real discourse.
Right here.
This guy.
And you know what? It's not that they're not necessarily, they may not have the traditional job, scooping ice cream, lifeguarding, but they're doing things like taking an internship.
Nothing wrong with scooping ice cream.
Classes. Was that your summer job?
I loved it.
But I think we baby them so much, though, that now, like, kids these days, everybody gets a participation trophy.
But
you know what I mean? Like, it's all about the children.
I can't believe these little kids these days.
I also think that you also have, like, some of those jobs aren't there because you have older people staying in those low-paying jobs.
But there are a lot of jobs.
There's not a turnaround,
You just can't be bothered with. All right. In the meantime, more millennial men are going under the knife to improve their looks. One of the main reasons they want to please their partners. That brings me to Dion. What's going on?
I think it's insane. It's almost like there's the theme with younger people I sometimes see is the impulsiveness or spontaneity, where they won't think an action through. And I would never think that, I would question the relationship or the girl asking me to change. That's how I read it, that the guy seems insecure and he wants to change himself for that.
Definitely wants to do. You're all for that.
I'm a heartthrob natural.
So it's all natural, baby. Anything. I really want to know how many women are actually asking their men.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Or is it just a perceived thing that, oh, well, I don't look good in this selfie and this guy does on Instagram? I really think social media actually has a lot to do with it, which is traditionally a feminine thing. We think only women compare themselves. I think what we're seeing is that is extending itself to males.
But women, this is not a sexist rap, but a lot of this has been associated with women in the past. And now men are doing it.
And you know what, I guess it depends on how bad your face is. I mean, if there's something really wrong, then maybe you do need to get a judge.
It is a weird thing that you see.
I thought it was involving other things.
It is weird that you're seeing younger people going for, I've known people who, like, for graduation, women may get breast implants instead of getting a car or something. And that's, that's a graduation. No, a woman.
What kind of
No.
I know, all kinds.
I think it's the social media aspect, though, the pressure that's coming out.
Why do you go there?
But it's weird, a 20-year-old getting
It's the Kardashians' fault. It's all their fault.
Sure, absolutely.
Humbug.
All right. Meanwhile, wedding season is in full swing, and wedding costs are on the rise. But apparently for guests, one survey is saying guests could spend close to $900 per wedding. I guess that's even before you get to the gift, right?
I think that's totally true. Just from my own experience.
That's destination weddings, though, right?
Yes. Well,
not all the time.
Not necessarily. I think part of it is that people are getting married older, and so when you have more income than you did when you were 20 or 22, the exptions are higher.
But if it's not a destination wedding, where are you spending that money on?
What are you
bachelorette weekends, you get gifts for, well, I guess it's the other way, but you might get gifts for your fellow bridesmaids. There's so many different standards that you have to meet due to Pinterest Pinterest and Instagram, the standards are
Peer pressure.
Yes,
That is
standards
peer
are way
pressure.
higher.
I was just in Chicago this past weekend for my buddy Scott and Mike. It was a gay wedding.
Oh,
We gave them
yes.
Make America Gay Again hats.
All right,
Big
that's
hits.
good.
By the way,
How'd you do?
Were they
copyrighted. So,
expensive? Is that why you spent $900?
No, but like,
A lot of hats.
The people going
Well,
spend
you
money.
must have been a hit.
Oh, they loved it. It was a hell of a party. Oh my God, I'm still recovering.
But how did it get this way? Because a lot of these are before even gifts are factored in.
Yeah, well, no, it's definitely the cost of a flight, the cost of a hotel room, if you want to buy a new dress, a suit, et cetera, et cetera.
Are you invited to a lot of weddings? I mean,
Did
do you
I
have a
have a
lot?
wedding
See, I
this
never had
weekend?
any friends.
I
So it was
have-
never.
So you didn't have a
you have us though.
You were just
well,
sitting
there
there
we go.
scooping ice cream every
Scooping
weekend.
ice cream.
See, I was on both.
Eating it.
I was on both sides of that. My wife's from England, so we had to have people come over here for our wedding, and then I've been on a destination wedding. So you feel bad when you kind of force your friends to, like, we're going to go here. They have to pay for their flight, and then you're like,
I just
are you
take
going
it
to
out of
give
the
me
gift.
gift too?
I take it out of the gift. If I have to fly to you, it's
that's
coming
the
right
point.
out.
Do you say that to them, though? You give them a little
I do.
coupon?
I do. I
Here's
say
my
it's
receipt for the
coming right
Delta
out of
flight.
the gift.
Get in a car with no money.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I'm here. That's enough.
Yeah, damn right.
All right. By the way, Amazon, as you probably heard, buying Whole Foods is launching this thing called Prime Wardrobe. It's going to be streamlining football games. Allie, are they taking over the world?
I
Should we
think
worry?
they are. Well, I'm a little bit worried because I'm afraid when companies get bigger before they get better, then it ends up being their eventual demise. And I'm wondering if that's what's going to happen with Amazon. They're really good right now, but how big can you get before you start sacrificing things like customer service and convenience? The two things we love about Amazon.
But now they're doing with clothing, with food, with
that's-
virtually every
that's
part
a
of
very
what they
good
do.
point, because you look at 75 or 100 years ago, you had like Macy's or Sears and Roebuck replacing the haberdasheries or the mom and pop stores, and now since they didn't keep
Now
up with
those
the
same
internet,
giants are the ones
now they're going
complaining
dry
about-
because they haven't kept up on the internet.
Amazon's pretty much like the digital Walmart. How Walmart was 10,
right.
15 years ago, where you can get all in one
Kmart.
store. The thing is, will it hit a breaking point? Possibly, probably. Now they're going to try to roll out drones, but really, how well is that going to work?
And
out,
Amazon's success is really based on, honestly, American laziness or their desire for convenience.
Instant gratification.
Nobody's going to malls anymore.
Yeah.
They want everything. They want things, but they want them sent to them. And
Nobody has summer
Amazon's
jobs.
very the market
The
on that.
stock has soared, but think of all the market value that's been wiped out in department store competitors and grocery store competitors just because Amazon utters that it might enter
That happened
to
50
food.
years ago with all the big department stores getting,
Do you worry about Amazon that it's going to take over the world?
Not necessarily. I do worry that more automation will take jobs. That's the only thing that I'm worried
Yeah.
about. I don't think it's going to take over the world.
I'm just not sure if I have stock in Amazon right now. So let me see if I have stock.
But I mean, if they have Whole Foods and Bezos,
And if they do a
the
good
guy runs
job,
it, they
it's
own
not
it.
necessarily a bad thing.
But he owns the Washington Post as well, so at Whole Foods they could wrap the fish up in the Washington Post.
Trader Joe's is better than Whole Foods.
It really is.
It is. I agree with that. Trader Joe's all the way. Yeah.
All right,
Cheaper.
Hickory
This segment's
Farms.
sponsored by Trader Joe's, apparently.
Neil Cavuto, brought to you by.
I always love when we end on food.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
On that note,
how does Ines put up with you? It's a mercy mission.
It's a gift.
It is a gift.
for him or for you?
For both of us.
Guys, thank you all very much. Have a good, fun weekend. Obviously, they all worked as kids.